Daniel Mail, Wednesday, November 13th. I want to comment on the hostage family panel that happened yesterday, and also journalist Barak Ravid spoke. I believe it's at the JFNA conference in DC. I'm going to quote here from the Jerusalem Post article. De Kochen says, right now, there's a difference between supporting and loving Israel and using your voice for that which is right, which may contradict to some degree with what the government is doing. Quote, but if you have to prefer the good of the Jewish people over the good of this particular government, which will pass at some point, I implore you, choose the good of the Jewish people. Dekel Khan and Dalia Kusnir, sister-in-law of hostages Eitan Horn and Lair Horn, criticized American Jewish organizations for failing to stand up to the Israeli government to ensure a hostage release. They slammed organizations including JFNA, Jewish Agency, and JDC for not speaking up forcefully enough. Quote, we need to have a joint call and urge the Israeli government and say that the Jewish community of North America needs a deal. That's the only way to bring them back. That's the only way that we can remain Jewish. Now, I'm incredibly sympathetic to their perspective, and I cannot imagine what these families are going through. It's important to contextualize these comments. The entire organized Jewish community apparatus has decided to remain silent in the face of disagreement with the Israeli government or the army or the Ministry of Defense. I'm going to bring this into equipment. When people know and openly concede that there's huge issues with equipment and that American Jews and diaspora Jewry have stepped up and helped with equipment, instead of calling out certain leaders, people have elected to say, okay, do your thing and remain quiet about the bigger issues. We'll figure that out later. And I certainly see that with equipment. And we see how instead of trying to deal with the root of the problem, people are dealing with the Band-Aid solutions and then trying to discourage people from speaking out because this is, quote unquote, a time of unity. So we certainly see that with equipment, with gear, with soldier safety. And the fact of the matter is soldiers have died in bad equipment that very easily could have been replaced by the organized Jewish community or replaced by the Ministry of Defense and the IDF leadership. And for whatever reason, it wasn't. And instead of calling it out, we are attending gala dinners to commemorate the lives lost.